Hi everybody, this is Siigari Kitawa. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to move a transport through low-sec safely using nothing more than a MicroWarpdrive and a Cloak. Please pay attention to the careful order and instructions that I give during this video so you can learn exactly how to do it. Otherwise, you could risk your ship. So paying attention to details are important. So to begin, we're going to warp to the OIMO gate. OIMO is a high-sec system. In high-sec, you are almost always safe to just line to the gate and jump by right-clicking the gate and clicking jump. The only times that this would not happen is if you are in a war, or if you have a criminal flag, or an aggression countdown. If you have an aggression countdown, somebody out there is able to attack you, and you should stay docked. If you are in low-sec or at war, anybody that can attack you probably will, considering you are in a hauler that is unarmed. Now, as I warp to the gate, I want to make it clear that when you are in warp, you will automatically jump through if you right-click the gate and click jump. However, if you warp to a gate and you land outside of the jump radius, which is 2,500 meters, you'll have to click the gate and click jump manually until you jump through. Now, we're going to practice one time in high-sec just so you can see how this exactly works. Right now, I have 4 inertia stabilizers and 2 nanofibers fitted instead of cargo expanders. Why is that? Well, the pickup in low-sec hasn't been picked up yet, so I might as well have an agility bonus while I'm moving through low-sec. Now, what this means is 4 inertia stabilizers and 2 nanofibers give me an increased inertia modifier. Inertia decreases the amount of time that it takes for me to get from 0 speed to full speed. Note that my full speed is 166 meters a second. So I'm going to align to the autosite gate, turn on my MicroWarpdrive, and Cloak at the same time. You just saw a MicroWarpdrive Cloak. Now, to complete this process, I'm going to decloak and turn off my MicroWarpdrive, warping instantly. Ship is still cloaked, and it's decloaking right now. That is how you perform a successful Cloak MicroWarpdrive trick. Now, what happens once I go into low-sec? Things change a little bit. All of a sudden, I'm vulnerable to attack. Why would I want to turn on a MicroWarpdrive and then Cloak? Well, as you just saw, it got me into warp safely without anybody ever getting the chance to lock me. When you are cloaked, nobody can lock you. The only way that they can lock you is if they decloak you by manual approach. Now, you'll notice right now that my ship is ready to jump into low-sec, and there I go. So, I'm going to teach you the 3 things that you must have at all times when you are in low-sec. You must have your overview fully expanded, you must have your directional scanner up, and you must be showing local. The first thing you want to do when you jump into low-sec, check your overview. See if there's any hostile targets. Pretty sure a capsule isn't going to try to blow me up, so I'm okay there. The next thing is you want to look in local and see how many targets there are. There are 9 other people in system with me, 8 people. The final thing you want to do is toggle on your scanner. There's an Imicus and a Mars shuttle on scan, so I will be safe. A good way to know that you're in low-sec is that there are no police on the gate. It is 2 sentry guns, a Concorde billboard, and a Stargate. So, let's begin. For this, you will line to the next gate that you want to go to. You turn on your Cloak and your MicroWarpdrive pretty much at the same time. If you do this too slow, you could be attacked while you're still speeding up. Now, to quit this process, turn off your MicroWarpdrive and then start clicking jump on the target gate. You will start warping while your Cloak is turning off, and you will be unlockable by enemy targets. This provides you with a great benefit. Nobody can lock you. Your ship is invulnerable to attack. You have nothing to worry about moving through low-sec in a transport, so long as you can do this process the correct way. Now, there are 2 ways to actually do this. The first way is to cloak and then activate your MicroWarpdrive. That is only useful when you have your nanos and your inertia stabilizers fitted. If you don't have those fitted, you will want to MicroWarpdrive and then Cloak. I'll explain more about that later. Now I'm jumping through, so I'm going to show you this again. Okay, once again, local, we got 8 more targets. Scan, clear. Okay, There's the Jan Stargate. So with the Jan Stargate selected, I'm actually going to show you how to cloak and then MicroWarpdrive. I'm going to align to the Jan gate, cloak, MicroWarpdrive. 1, 2. Now, you saw a little bump there. I'm going to explain that in a minute once I'm in warp. Waiting for the MicroWarpdrive to deactivate, so I wait to see until it's not flashing red. Decloak and warp. Safe once again. Now, I'm going to explain to you really quickly while I'm in warp as to why it's important that that little bump was there. When you activate your cloak before you activate your MicroWarpdrive, this causes something to happen. You miss out on precious speed that you won't get while you're cloaked. Your cloak will not affect your actual velocity at the current moment, so if I'm MicroWarpdriving at 100 meters a second and then cloak, that just means that I'm going to be at 100 meters a second, speeding up a lot slower because my velocity has been reduced. My maximum velocity has been reduced. Now, with inertia stabilizers and a nanofiber, I get the benefit of a higher top speed, 166 meters a second. As you lighten the load of your ship using mostly nanofiber, which lightens your structure, you're going to be able to go faster. So if I turn on my MicroWarpdrive, you'll see my full speed is 803 meters a second. That's a lot of speed for a small little industrial ship. Now, I'm going to jump through and I'm going to warp to a station, and we're going to pretend that there's cargo there that I have to pick up. So please watch as I do this. Okay, one target in local. One target is still a target, so always scan. Okay, now for a station, this is a little bit different, mostly because you're still going to have to click the align to, and you're going to have to right click again and do this again when you click dock. So I'm going to show you that you can do it that way, or you can find the station, have it up here. So we're going to go to Concord Academy. So once again, we're going to align, MicroWarpdrive cloak. Okay, didn't quite get that time, so I'm going to cloak in the MicroWarpdrive. Now, turn off the MicroWarpdrive while you're still cloaked so that you can see the flashing red. Once that flashing red turns off, decloak and dock. Do it fast. Don't wait. If you wait, you will get shot and locked, which is bad. You want, as soon as you click that decloak button, you're sending a signal to the server to decloak. Now, these happen in order. These don't like skip steps. So if I click decloak and then I click dock, it's going to say decloak. Okay, now this guy wants to dock. So it's going to send me the decloak order first, then it's going to send the dock order. I can only dock when I'm decloaked. So you want to decloak before you attempt to click dock. Just really helpful, especially in that specific circumstance. Now, as I approach the station, I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what we're going to do. We're going to pick up cargo. Now, my cargo in a non-expanded octator is only 9,003. Well, let's say that I have a package that's 30,003 that I need to pick up. So what I do is I open my fitting window and I start to take out fittings until I have enough cargo to carry the 30,003.
Those items are not stackable.
Still not there. I'm going to have to keep going. There's 30,000 M3. Now, just for the sake of demonstration, I am going to take off the last inertia stabilizer and fit the expander. Now, before I undock, I want to take a moment to share something with you guys. There's some ways that you can actually increase your line time without using inertia stabilizer nanofibers. And those are by getting special implants. The implants that you can get to do this are the low-grade Nomads and the Rogue AY2. The low-grade Nomads are a set of implants that give you a +2 bonus to your learning time for each spec, and then an agility bonus. The agility bonus basically increases your align speed. Your align speed is a speed that takes you from 0 to top speed. When you increase that agility bonus, you're going to lessen the amount of time that it takes to get yourself up to warp speed. So investing in a set of Nomads is a really great idea. Slot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are filled on my sheet. That cost about $1.25 billion ISK. If you want to get the set with the Omega, which goes into slot 6, you're looking at about $1.8 billion. I don't have the Nomad Omega because I have a Rogue HY2 instead, which offers a warp speed bonus because I fly a freighter a lot. And that's still a good bonus to have on the ship, just probably not as useful as a Nomad Omega. If you choose to get the Nomad Omega, please realize that you are entering an expensive slot 6 fitting, and you do not ever want to take it out to put something else in. The last thing that you can do is get the F. Aaron Company Rogue AY2, AY1, or AY1.5. Those give a 5% bonus, a 3% bonus, or a 4% bonus to your agility. And those can be fitted into slot 7. Now, with that in mind, we're going to undock, and I'm going to warp to another low-sec gate just to demonstrate what this does. With cargo expanders fitted and without inertia stabilizers fitted, your ship is significantly slower than if it had the inertia stabilizers and nanos fitted. So I'm going to scan, and I am going to warp to the Nebula gate once again, because it is our low-sec system. I'm just going to click jump.
Warp drive active.
Something to keep in mind is when you are in low sec, your align speed should always be 10 seconds. It should never be 20 seconds. It should never be 25 seconds. It should never be 15 seconds. It should be the time that it takes for your MicroWarpdrive to run one cycle, which is 10 seconds. Wherever it is on here, it's on there somewhere. 10 seconds. Now, when you have expanders fitted, you have to do something a little bit more risky, but if you do it successfully, you will never run into problems. You turn on your MicroWarpdrive first, and then you cloak. What makes that risky is the fact that your MicroWarpdrive will boost your signature by 500% before you cloak, making you lockable a lot quicker. So long as you cloak and then so long as you MicroWarpdrive and then cloak immediately, you should never run into problems. Okay, so we're going to practice. We're going to go to the Versailles gate. So to do that, I'm going to find the gate here. I'm going to right-click Align, MicroWarpdrive, and then Cloak, both at the same time. Now you saw they both turn on at the same time, so I'm getting my speed boost. Once again, I'm going to want to turn off my MicroWarpdrive, wait for that red to go away, then I'm going to decloak, and click Jump. That was pretty good. There was a little bit of line speed that I missed on right there, but otherwise, okay. As long as I'm not MicroWarpdriving while I'm decloaked, it's still going to take a really high scan resolution ship to lock me for that half a second that it takes for me to get into warp while I'm decloaked. So it's nothing to worry about. However, you want to continue doing it until you've perfected it so that you will warp immediately after you decloak. 0 time not warping is the best. So we're going to drop out of warp on the Versailles gate, and we're going to jump through, and we're going to do this one more time. Just as an aside, I still think the Occator is the most beautiful transport. Alright. Now, we're going to show this one more time. We're in high sec now, but this is the end of the video. So, we're going to find the gate. There it is. Okay. We're going to align MicroWarpdrive, Cloak. Once again, we're going to turn off the MicroWarpdrive halfway around its cycle. And as soon as that MicroWarpdrive turns off, you're going to decloak and warp. And that was a flawless warp. Now, there was a slight bump that you might have saw while I had my MicroWarpdrive turned on, and I had just cloaked. That bump was that necessary speed that I needed. This comes with a problem, though. While you're micro-warp-driving, anybody can lock you. If you don't cloak fast enough, you will get locked down, shot, and destroyed. So please practice until you have it down perfectly. Okay? Believe you me, when you are in that tense situation, and there are lots of people on a gate that are all pointing their ships at you, waiting for you to decloak, you are going to want to make sure that you are not decloaked for any time at all while you turn on that micro-warp-drive. Alright everybody, this is Siigari Kitawa, and I hope that my instructional video has helped you out. Please practice, because once you practice, you can move anything through low sec without breaking a sweat. Thanks again, and enjoy your day.